so interesting is core strength, right? You know, and she laughs every time I say that. But core strength, and we talked about how, I mean, I have a good idea about core strength because not only being a dancer, right, and a ballet teacher, but I'm also a Pilates mat instructor. So you're tested on this stuff. You go over the anatomy, and you're tested on it. So core really includes your ab, your back, your buttocks, and your secondary core is your shoulder girdle. And I like what you said about it. You had said that it was a buzz. You said core was sort of a buzzword. It's a catch-all phrase.
Few years it really got, you know, the hit word to say.
Yes, and it's what I loved was when we were discussing it on our own was that you said that everybody says core, but maybe they don't understand what that really means.
Yeah.
So what do you do? What is it that you're kind of looking for? You're looking for just maybe not so much core, but alignment is a nice word to say.
Yes. The core work, I leave it on you.
All right, I help out.
And also that we do have at the school at the steps, we do have separate class for that, you know, the class we do. So I'm not gonna talk about the core because it's way too detailed.
Right.
But when I look at the class and look at the student and the students to understand what they are trying to execute, I tend to point out to the front of the pelvis bone because the buttocks is really individual. It's the meat and flesh, and also the shape is really different person to person.
Yes.
So that's where I think it happens at tucking the pelvis.
Oh yes, that's a pretty common mistake.
Yes, try to hide whatever you have. And so instead of that, and then so you often told as your pelvis tilted, well, this is front, right? Yeah. Your pelvis tilted forward, and what they do is they try to tuck your pelvis, but you are not getting any length in the torso to the pelvis to the thigh area.
Front of the hip, sure. And the thing is, when you say something like, in Pilates, we're very concerned with neutral pelvis. Like, you know, the pelvis is a bowl, and you don't want the content to spill, you know, back or forward. But how many young students understand, like, you can't say neutral to
I
them.
tried that, and they don't understand.
Sure, because they're young, they're not as experienced. Even I'm in my own class going, I know my pelvis isn't in neutral, so it takes a lot of work on any level.
Right, so I actually said to look at the front side of the pelvis and then make it stand up straight.
Okay.
And when you clear, and when you stretch your leg, and when you go up onto the lower leg, you want to keep it in the same angle.
Right, so the pelvis stays the same throughout those movements.
Exactly. Often what happens is that plie, and stand up, and lower leg, or plie it straight. You stretch your leg and the pelvis goes like this, and go up and lower it, and it goes even more out. Okay. I also can show that with my student later on. So, the placement of the pelvis. I usually look at the front side of the pelvis here instead of the back side because this can be really individual. So, this front part, as you can see my hand gripping upwards, you want to keep the upright. Can you stick it back up? There. Now you can see her pelvis tilting forward and come up. Good. And tuck under. Yeah. So, as you can see, this often happens more when you go down to the plie and straight up. So either the tilting forward or tucking under is not ideal. You want to keep this straight up. Once you get that concept, now you're going to go to the plie. Right, and you don't want to change that angle of the pelvis as you go down and stand up. Good. One more time. Plie. Good. And stand up. What often happens is plie, stick your back up, as you can see, and sometimes stand up. Sometimes they come up straight up in standing, but when you go to the plie, many people does tilt the pelvis forward. Other one is plie and tuck your butt under. This happens a lot by trying to gain a turnout or something and stand up. Right. You don't want to change the angle of the pelvis as you move. So you go down to the plie, straight, and stand. Good. And now you go to the low leg. You want to keep the angle of the pelvis upright on the front and come down. And plie again. And stand up. And low leg. And you can't always be perfect, but that's what you strive to. Okay? Good. So here is a demonstration of the pencil test. You put the pencil against your shin bone and Amelia, point your foot. Good. Like that. So, as you can see, her toe is coming off from the pencil. That's ideal. Here. This is kind of minimum you want to have for the point walk. If that goes less, and you start seeing space between the pencil and your foot, your point walk will be really challenging. Point and point. And half point and down. So if you have a crunchy toe, I really don't think you can get up onto the pointe shoes.
The next one is a demonstration of being able to stand on half point with a completely stretched back of the knee.
Right. Easy to say, not so easy to do. Especially the hyperextended or hypermobile, what should you call it, I guess, leg. So either the tilting forward or tucking under is not ideal. You want to keep this straight up. You can't always be perfect, but that's what you strive to. Okay? Good.
Thank you so much for coming in and helping me out today. I thought the demonstrations were terrific. I think everybody's going to learn a lot. Don't forget to subscribe and leave your comments below.